enjoyed during the competition. Thank you as well for participating. All right, we have one already. Second question, again, Ramus and cute Timo hats up for grabs. Next question is all the world in one arrow. Which champion said this line? All right, we have Ash, that's correct. Congratulations. Ramus hat for you. And before we proceed with our next match, another one to give away, this time a Timo hat. Oh yes, let's take a picture. Picture first. Thank you so much. Okay, listen well. I will try my best. What's this? Never underestimate the power of the Scout's code. Oh, okay.
Timo.
Timo is correct. Bonus question. Congratulations. All right, let's take a photo together. Awesome sauce. Thank you so much to everyone that participated. We will be doing this throughout the day and as well as up until tomorrow. It's going to be fun. I'm going to come up with awesome trivia questions from voice lines to just guess that champion. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will wait for the next match to proceed. See you guys later.
All right, welcome back to the FSL main event here. We are at the Comex Suntec City Convention Center 6th floor.
Yep.
Come by and see us if you are around the venue. But for now, we will be looking at the second match for today. It's going to be the representatives from Singapore and Thailand going up against each other right now. On the blue side, I believe it's going to be Thailand. It's the Lannisters Overheat Girls. And on the red side, it's going to be Top 10 DINO. Quite a cute name, but the logo has received a bit of a change, I believe.
Feels bad. I preferred the previous logo, but who am I to judge?
Right, I think the previous logo was cuter, but
Yeah.
now in this case, a bit more fierce, a bit more fitting of an elite level tournament. You can see on the left side of your screen is going to be Lannister Overheat, and on the right side of your screen, it's top 10 dinos. It's Urith, who is on the front and center, the top laner, but not the captain. The captain is the jungler's Bubby, who has just arrived, I believe.
Woo, welcome.
Yeah, it's a close call, But what do you think about this matchup so far, Trufan? How do you feel?
Well, we had a very exciting, very explosive game in the previous matchup against, forgive me, Philippines versus Vietnam.
You are right.
And this game should be slower. We've seen both teams have the ability to play macro games, have the ability to slow down, not look for these, non-stop fights.
Right.
I think, like I said, it's going to be a slower game.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's going to be any less exciting, though.
Maybe more strategically macro focused, like you said, this time coming through. I think Lannisters has really impressed us in the form of being able to play the map and make the right choices when it counts, right? When you think about their performance during the qualifiers, I think something that impressed me a lot was their usage of the Rift Herald coming through. And there you can see the head-to-head. Top laner is going to be rotate against Urith. In the jungle, it's Tawan against Bubby. Kirsty in the mid lane against Amelia, who is, we've been pronouncing her name as Alama, but it's actually just Amelia backwards, and we're just trolling a little. The bot lane duo of, they're both sisters, by the way, Risu and Patty Thompson, and against Vortex and Vayne, who will have their work cut out for them right now.
Yeah, and the one thing that you have to note about both these teams is that their strengths lie in different lanes. Rotate here, the veteran coming in for Lannisters is the primary carry for the side of Lannisters, able to find leads in her own lane and translate that across the map. But on the other side, top 10 DINO, they really like playing the jungle mid. They have great synergy, and they really know where they have to be on the map at any given time.
Yeah, I like that you pointed out, because Amelia has been like the catalyst for top 10 DINO to excel and succeed. Every time she does well, the team wins. Every time she gets stifled a little bit, the team, usually fails to perform. So there we go, we're in pick and ban right now, and it's an instant Kane ban against Bubby here, who is known to be extremely proficient on that champion.
Yeah, you have to ban the Yorick as well. I mean, against Urith, that's a pretty strong Kane player as well. Looks like they're going to go for the Nico as well. And this is not unlike, the pick and ban phases that we have seen in these respective qualifiers. Aatrox ban against Lannisters and Kane Nico ban against top 10 DINOs. These are very strong picks that each team enjoys playing. And
interesting to see the Fiora banned out, because if you cast your mind back to Girl Gamer earlier this year, it was top 10 DINOs against Asterix, and Urith in the top lane playing the Yorick was actually denied a lot of advantage playing against, I think it was Mayo Knightsy's Fiora, and maybe she's just having a bit of PTSD. Maybe it's them saying we don't want to deal with this champion. It banned it out instantly in the first round.
Alright, well, Yorick isn't banned. so you might actually see it come out. We haven't seen it in tournament. I'm not sure if she'll be practicing it because she has expected to be banned. But if she does pick it up, I want to see if she is able to maintain the form of the Yorick we've seen in seasons past.
So right now, we see multiple junglers left open. The value of... Oh, hold on. I'm going to reset a little bit, but as I was saying, the Sejuani Jarvan still left open. The Yorick, like you mentioned, high prio for Urif in the top side. We have to figure out what's going on right now as a disconnect did come through. Oh, right. Okay, so we're hearing from our production team that a client crashed on the side of Lannister. As you can see on your screen, the guy just running across like, yeah, the game crashed, guys. Gotta reset.
Thank you, Riot Games. Fix your client, please.
Fix client, please.
Well.
Judging from the picks and bans, it, like you mentioned earlier, or at least alluded to, right? The idea of it being completely different from the previous game. The previous game we saw when Liap went up against Box Gaming, it was a lot of like target and preference bans.
Yeah.
They basically said, oh, you're good on this champion, we won't let you have it, right? Oh, we don't want to face this particular champion, so we're just going to ban it out. This time, it seems like they're banning meta stuff a bit more.
I mean, sure, if you want to call Corki meta, I wouldn't exactly say so. Sure, he's not exactly very strong right now. Was strong a few patches ago, but right now it's not something that you really want to pick. On the flip side, though, I actually enjoy this. This was a point that I wanted to bring up, is that a lot of the Singaporean, Malaysian, Indonesian teams, they like to focus ban the top side for top 10 dinos. And I was beginning to question that because if you did that, Europe would just go Swain and well anyway.
Right.
So I was thinking if you look for bans elsewhere on the map, maybe you can force out a different pick. For example, bot side. Are you sure you want to give them Kai'Sa Nautilus? You don't want to pressure that lane at all?
Yeah, that has been a staple so far for the bot lane of top 10 dinos where they consistently go for the Kai'Sa Nautilus, right?
Yep.
So we repeat the bans and now we move on. Jarvan, like we said, open will be instantly locked in, and if this is any prediction, we might expect to see the Yorick come through and possibly the Sejuani as well for Spubby.
I mean, if they aren't going to go for Yorick right now, I don't think they're going for a second round. So you actually might just save that pick and get the Kai'Sa Nautilus.
Alright, so Nautilus instantly locked in. Kai'Sa might be the second follow-up. And like you said, maybe you can tell the future. Chufan, Kai'Sa Nautilus left open means that it will be taken away instantly from top 10 dinos. This is a bot lane that they've played, I think, close to 100% of the time during the qualifiers.
100% Nautilus and I think 60% Kai'Sa.
Whenever it was available, they would have played this, and the response coming through here for Lannisters might just be the Xayah Morgana, which, like we were talking about earlier today in Game 1, Morgana denies Nautilus, and Kai'Sa has a lot of issues dealing with Xayah because the Xayah scales so well.
Well, that's the thing with Xayah against Kai'Sa. Xayah gets her items sooner, get the damage sooner, is enabled in team fights sooner.
Right.
But when the game goes late, Kai'Sa is the real hyper carry here. As we do see the Poppy probably going for Spubby. We've seen Spubby play Poppy twice now.
We've seen her play Poppy during the qualifiers, but also the advantage is you could lean the Poppy into the top side as a flex pick for Europe if you need to. So right now they're not really giving away anything, right? They're basically threatening, saying, well, you don't know who our jungle is, you don't know who our top lane is, you can't commit to anything. And because they are on red side, they will have last pick.
Urif to me isn't the type of player that would go for Poppy though. When she was denied the Yorick, she really has defaulted to, you know, safer ranged matchups, you know, the Swain, the Nico, the Kennen. And right now, I think Spubby on the Poppy is really where you want to go. You bring CC, you can knock that Jarvan away from that dash.
Here's what I think though. They will probably give the Poppy over to Spubby like you said. And I think right now, Lannister Overheat is sort of baiting out the Yorick in the top lane. They say, well, I think you really want to play that champion, so we're just going to sort of bait it out in the top side. And that makes sense because if the Irelia is banned out, it signals to us that it shouldn't be Poppy top side because Poppy top lane hard counters Irelia. So right now it should be jungle Poppy and possibly a top lane Swain or Yorick bait out.
That's the Yorick, no more bait. Well, that being the case, I think we do have to look towards rather the ranged laners coming in. Kennen is something that we have seen Urif play. Not as successful as the Nico and the Yorick, but still a very formidable champion on this top side of the map for top 10 dinos.
But you know me, whenever I talk about Kennen, I say on the red side is always a tricky pick because you tend to overextend past the river a lot. And if the jungle focuses the top side, you can actually come in with a flanking angle from the top tri-brush on red side to actually get a inside track onto the Kennen and pressure and force a flash early on.
Yeah, 100%. And on the other side, we do see the Rise though, so no melee versus ranged matchup. And this is something we've seen Rotate play before a lot. Very proficient on this Rise, and hovering the very devastating Ari in this tournament for Kirsty here.
Here's a fun fact. Ari has been something like 80% pick ban across all the FSL qualifiers. Like,
I wouldn't say
if you take
80.
an average, 80% pick or ban.
All right.
Like, guaranteed you would see it in, 4 or 5 of your games, picked or banned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, man. Oh,
Okay.
no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Amelia
Alright.
on this Zoe. We're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. She has had that Zoe perma-banned against her during the qualifiers. And
Nope.
nope.
She got one game up and she
Yeah.
managed to 1v2.
Alright. I forgot about that, yeah. They left it open that one game, and I think her opponents realized, yeah, actually, just perma-ban the Zoe from now on. We can't play this.
Yep. Questionable picks and bans coming in from Lannisters. This is something that is, well, I wouldn't go, I would say suboptimal.
I felt like they could have banned out the Zoe, left the Yorick open, and play Ryze into Yorick. You'd be fine with that matchup.
Yep.
You would be okay. All you do is just sit back, scale up, and you don't go greedy. You don't go Klepto, right? You just take the phase rush and try to, kite space properly, out-trade. In this case, because they left the Zoe open, Amelia is going to have a field day on that champion. And if you remember, in Girl Gamer, the second game, it was on that Zoe that Amelia actually did pop off. She managed to pull the score to even 1-1 on that Zoe off the back of a Zoe Morgana pick composition.
All right. We can debate the bans all day long, but the fact of the matter is that the primary carries of both teams really got the champions that they wanted to play. Ryze able to, translate advantages across the map. As we do take a look at the standings for the group stage right now.
Yeah, so as it stands right now at Box Gaming, 1-0, the only team to take a game off so far. Of course, we only had one game earlier today, so...
What do you expect?
Yeah, what do you expect? But meanwhile, Liab, 0-1, not the hardest start, but still, going up against Box, which was arguably, my pick for winner. I think it was a tough matchup to begin with anyway. Yeah, I'm flip-flopping like a, like a seesaw.
All right, well...
This is your schedule for today. After this, we will have Liab going up against top 10 Dinos. So 2 games in a row for the Singaporean representatives, and it's going to be a bit of a long day for them. But right now, looking at a Lannister top 10 Dino matchup, we're looking at the drafts. We were talking about the teams. How do you think both teams will play this one out?
Well, at this point, I think earlier the point was that both these teams are very happy with the drafts, namely because of the bans that are a little bit funky. You got Kirsty on the Ari right now just to detract from Rotate for a little bit. And this Ari, like we've said in the past, has been really, really devastating when it comes to team fights, able to find the picks. If you're able to land your skill shots on this champion, it just makes it so much more difficult for your opponent to look for a favorable fight. And on the other side, though, it's a Zoe, which we have seen Amelia play very, very well. Especially paired up with this Poppy on Zbubby.
Yeah.
Again, this mid.
It's a bit hard to make sense of this right now because we don't have the pick ban screen on the main screen, but we'll try our best to work through it, right? Sounds a bit weird because like everyone's like, what are they talking about?
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about, right?
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll fix that and get that sorted out soon in the future when we discuss the compositions during the spectator delay. We'll try to have the pick bans up for you. Right now, though, we should be entering the videos for the teams relatively soon. Of course, to remind our viewers, the players themselves arrived in Singapore on Thursday, I believe, or Wednesday, and they had a sort of media day where they were there to film behind-the-scenes shots.
Okay.
Interacting with each other, doing interviews and stuff. And of course, we will have that up for you in a couple of seconds on your screen. We'll take a look at top 10 Dinos and Lannisters and how they spent their media day in a couple of seconds.
If the screen will cooperate. Should we go in the video now?
Yeah.
All right.
Roll.
Okay.
Okay. We'll try that one again. Later on.
All right. Okay. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. It's
Sorting
early.
out the kinks early.
It's early in the day, right? It's better to get the issues out during round robin than in the finals.
All
that's
right,
what I
okay.
say. You know,
that's fair enough.
Yeah. All right, we are in the loading screen, and we should be jumping to game relatively soon. And on the blue side, we will have Lannisters. On the red side, we have top 10 Dinos, who are both looking to take their first win for today and start out strong. The momentum is going to carry them quite well in this tournament.
It's an electrocute Poppy. He really wants to go in, man.
I feel like you should be either taking Electrocute or Predator. There's like literally nothing else to take. What are you gonna take? Predator? Conqueror?
Aftershock?
No, Aftershock is terrible because you're not guaranteed to get Aftershock, right?
Alright. I mean, no, if you're Sbubby right now, you have seen this
Okay, fair enough,
Poppy
fair enough. Right.
ram people in the wall
Actually,
consistently.
now
man.
that you mentioned that, I think Aftershock has value because you have multiple members on the Lannister side that you want to deny, right, with Steadfast
Yeah.
Presence. So the moment you proc Steadfast Presence, they cannot dash out, you get Aftershock. So maybe got some value there.
Well, as it stands, Electrocute on this Poppy up against a more defensive pick of the Conqueror coming in from the Jarvan 4. So I think we should know where the advantage in this jungle lies at the moment.
Pretty standard start coming in from both teams, and I feel like we were talking about the win conditions coming through, right? Top 10 Dinos looking for the picks with the Zoe as well as the Nautilus. Super aggressive early on already, landing some damage on to Kirsty. And the reverse is true as well. Lannister is looking to make picks with the Ahri and Morgana. When it comes to team fighting, we always give the edge over to the Kai'Sa, who's going to scale up to a stronger point in the late game.
Until that point, though, the edge does belong to the Xayah. We should get that straight.
Right, Xayah has the best 1-2 item spike right now. I feel like when you get the SMG, you're content throwing Qs and Ws out, right?
Yep.
And just using the Blade Caller anytime you want.
But throughout the qualifiers, we haven't actually seen the Thompson sisters really come out and step up to the stage. We really have seen Rotate always being there for their bot lane, always teleporting in very quickly. So one thing we do have to look out for is whether or not this bot lane is going to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, or if Rotate's going to have to come save them again.
Yeah, she's been the one that's been making the teleport plays in the bot side for Lannister, so whether Risu and Paddy will stand up to the task is going to be another question. Of course, Vortex and Vayne super comfortable on this Nautilus Kai'Sa duo. They play this majority of the competition and they've done relatively well to get to this point.
Relatively well, yeah, but same point. I think the real way the top 10 Dino wins games is through their mid and jungle. Their bot lane, sure, they haven't fed, but they haven't actually been, you know, the absolute win condition for their team yet.
Meanwhile, mid lane, the prios are being established here for Amelia. You can see the minions are definitely in her favor as she's pushing up. Her jungler is now on the top side. Did a very quick clear of the blue buff and then rotated to the top half.
Yep, right now both junglers are actually at the top side. I think if this Jarvan decides to go in, it's going to be a very easy counter gank for this Poppy to try to mitigate. And like you said, this Jarvan actually might just go in for the early gank on this cannon on the red side. It's pretty easy and... Oh, it's just a ward over the wall.
Just a ward over the wall to spot out any early aggression coming through, but meanwhile, in the mid lane, good deal of damage down to Ailama here as she gets pushed back in. Prio on the Rift Scuttle is going to belong to Tawan here as the Jarvan picks up the first neutral objective for the game. Meanwhile, Sbubby here is going to recall.
Yeah, which means this top side is empty, but Cannon is pushed under tower, so there isn't much of a potential for this Jarvan to gank. And unfortunately, it's just a bit of wasted time as he looks around the enemy jungle, but all the camps are clear.
Oh, hold on, mid lane here. The gank coming into one. Not really going to find the timing. It's just going to flag and drag out. But I want to highlight that it was super important for Sbubby to do that particular clear because she did a single camp in the bot half and then cleared the top side. Super efficient. And now she can play towards the bot half and guarantee that either she gets 2 camps and a full clear or at least some early aggression in the bot half.
Yeah, but because of that path, she does give over both Rift Scuttlers over to the Jarvan. That's a pretty sizable goal and experience lead to him.
Using the counterfeit heal to keep herself topped up, Amelia is going to back off in the mid lane now with the wave being pushed in. This is the 4-minute wave that most people like to cheat around. When I say that, it basically means that you can stack up the big wave and then push it in and get a free recall timing. But instead, she's just going to stay in the mid lane and exert a bit more pressure here.
Yeah, questionable at worst, really. I mean, you don't have mana. You can continue to push, maybe look for the next wave to back, but as it stands, Amelia not going to be able to do much more other than just auto attack for the next few seconds.
The reason I like the 4-minute back timing is because you get a window there where you hit level 6 with your first buy.
Yeah.
So it's more impactful when you start ganking, you start trying to make things happen with that buy. And speaking of which, they are still sticking around the mid lane without any mana, so it's a game of chicken right now.
It's fine. They'll
Between
just
the
auto attack
Zoe
each other.
as well as the Ahri. Kirsty and Ilma, Amelia just seeing who's going to back first.
Yeah. Who's gonna blink first in it? Well, not much to see here. First Drake is going to be an Ocean Drake though, so if either jungler decides to prioritize it, they're going to prioritize it early. And if you look at the river right now, we have seen a lot of wards as a bit of skirmish goes on in the bot lane. But I don't really want to give a huge advantage to either team for ward advantage in the river just yet, because I think both of them have Vision over Dragon at the moment.
The thing is, it being Ocean, the value is high, sure, early on, but are you really willing to contest? Do you want to swap Rift Herald for the Dragon? Maybe not, right?
Yeah.
So the wards there aren't really necessary if you have to be very honest. And this game, like we were saying, is extremely slow paced. That's what we expected coming in from both these teams. Extremely measured, tempered, and deliberate when it comes to making decisions across the map.
Yeah, our two slowest teams, obviously contrasted to the previous game, so we're getting a nice mix of both. Earlier on in the day, honestly, not much to talk about, just standard lanes. Mid lane is trading back and forth though, as priority changes hands very repeatedly. Just makes, jungling for around that lane so much harder to predict.
Now look at this, Jurif had to teleport back into the top side to catch the wave, and this gives Rotate a big advantage in terms of being able to impact the rest of the map with teleport. So keep your eyes focused on the Rise as she looks to teleport to the bot lane to make something happen here.
Make something happen. She's gonna have to as Poppy decides to go in.
Yeah, Poppy pathing in here will not catch the timing just yet as Vayne's walking up, landing the hook, but
nice.
the Black Shield there was more than enough as Risu now takes the bare brunt of the aggression. They are overstepping just a little bit here. Vortex and Vayne have to be careful about their positioning. If a teleport came in from the Rise on the back, it would have been quite disastrous there in the bot lane.
Yeah, and you definitely could have done that. I mean, you pushed the wave into the tower already and overstepped in the bot side. You could have looked for that opportunity, but as it stands, you didn't. And perhaps you was just waiting for something, a bit more concrete before committing that summoner spell.
Teleport used by Desire to return to the bot lane. This is a... Oh, hold on here. Gang coming in. Vayne not landing the hook though, but a good deal of damage down to Christie. She's going to have to force the cleanse out and at least stay alive for now. Amelia and Vayne with the tag team two-pronged approach. Try and get the kill there.
Yeah, the way you win this game, if you're top 10 DINO, you commit all your resources to Amelia in the mid lane. You bring the support up, you bring the jungler up, and forcing the Ahri out allows them to pick up the early Ocean.
Yeah, I love these pre-10-minute Ocean Drakes because it gives you so much more sustain in the lane. And right now, Eurus will be happy taking the trade. She'll be fine just sitting under this turret and sustaining back up because there is no concern with the Ocean Drake now keeping her tops up. Meanwhile, the second round of buffs coming up, you can see that Bubby is on her blue and Tawan has more or less cleared her own.
Yes, Bubby has been hovering around the mid lane a lot this game. Has tried a gank at bot, was unfortunately denied. Just because it's just gonna back off though. I think one thing she can look to do right now is because the Rise is always pushed up against this cannon. Maybe you go up there, look for a gank, try to get your cannon ahead.
Now look at this. The Kai'Sa in this game is looking to go for the Mana Mune build, which is gonna hurt, especially when you scale into the Xayah. The item difference right now is just so big that I think if you're the bot lane of top 10 dinos, you have to concede any sort of advantage you thought you had. This bot lane is like lost right now, just on virtue of items.
Virtue of items. Alright. This is 20 CS gold lead as well for the Xayah, so it's just huge fields bad overall for this Kai'Sa Nautilus lane. I mean, outside of a Miracle Engage for the Nautilus and you're just sweeping up both members, I don't think there is a way for them to come in, especially since he's going for the Mana Mune build, like you said.
Buddy, how much of a Miracle Engage can you get against Morgana who can just snap Black Shield, right?
Yep.
I feel like this bot lane, you just play defensive and hope for the best here. Maybe sit on the turret and farm as Vayne looks to make something happen on the map.
Yeah, this is what you have to do if you're Vayne. You give up your bot side. I'm actually not sure if you... I mean, yeah, you can roam. I think that's what you have to do. You have to, like we said, provide resources for Amelia to, find a way ahead.
Yep.
But the question then becomes, do you want to leave this Kai'Sa alone in the bot side?
Bit of a lull state right now, 10 minutes in. The gold is more or less even because neither team has opted to make any action happen. They're missing a bit of the windows for aggression here as they're just farming this one out.
Yep, Bubby going on to the mid side, mid lane again, but It's just gonna invade the jungle, nothing to be seen there, so it's just a bit more wasted time. Raptors just respawn though, so I guess you can get the birds.
Now, if we assess the situation, the strength of top 10 dinos right now is the mid lane as well as the jungle, whereas for bot side, super strong. Hold on here, Redemption coming in. A lot of damage down and a great black shield though. But Paddy and Risu have to be careful as a great Ferris Storm and a Blade Caller pulls it back in. They have to disengage right now despite a 4-man dive attempt on the bot lane. Ferris Storm as well as Blade Caller used by Risu and Paddy was enough to deny the forced fight.
Yep, and crucially, you save your flash on the Xayah. You can save that for another day. And that Black Shield, I cannot overstate how crucial that summoner, how crucial that spell was to dissuading any sort of further engage. I mean, Poppy just sat there staring at Morgana and Xayah for the best part of 3 seconds, and there was nothing she could do.
Yeah, because they forced the fight on the bot side now, Rift Herald was open and it was Tawan that managed to claim the objective for herself. We'll have to see where they decide to jam the Rift Herald down though, because wherever they commit to is going to be the side of the map that opens up. I feel like right now your value is going to be the bot lane. Maybe you just put it down the bot lane, open the map up. As we see Pinks in the mid lane, Christy getting ignited out now, so he has to be careful. Amelia, though, getting Cataclysm down, flashing away, but a flag and drag. She will jump back in, and First Blood finally going the way of Lannisters in the mid lane.
There was a huge collapse, and it was the point I wanted to bring up. You bring your jungler, you bring the top lane. Oh, I'm gonna hold that.
They managed to deny the Rift Herald, and now to fight in the mid lane. A lot of damage down. Kirsty's the first to fall, and now Bubby will go down in response. They managed to stop the Rift Herald being channeled though, and that was more than enough. That's what you wanted if you're top 10 dinos.
First time you jump in as Bubby, you didn't get killed. Second time you do it again, and you do it against 3 members this time. You didn't stun up anyone, and you just get popped. That's advantage to Lannister, and this is just a huge chunk of gold going into their pockets.
Yurif wasn't there, remember. She wasn't able to reach the fight in time to sort of impact and sway the outcome. So I think it's a small win that you managed to deny the Rift Herald, but still you lose 2 members, the goal lead, going the way of your opponents.
Yeah, I was actually paying attention. Did they actually deny the Rift Herald spawn? Alright, so that was actually pretty good, denying the tower plates. If not, that would have been more gold going towards Lannister. So depending on how you look at it, that was actually sort of gold.
And crucially, because you keep the mid tier 1 up, it opens, at least it gives Amelia some space in the mid lane, right? Zoe always wants to have a turret behind her so she can do stuff like that.
Yep.
So she can play aggressively in the mid lane. Without a turret behind her, top 10 dinos have to default to a bit more of a defensive style, which is going to hinder their winning percentage, their chance of taking this game. So keeping mid tier 1 alive was extremely important there, and kudos to them for doing it just now. I
do like to see that Tawan focused down the mid lane, because like we were talking about, Amelia is really the winning position for top 10 dino. I'm gonna hold that.
Oh, clearance thing in, and Vortex is gonna claim the kill there. A bit of an overzealous play coming through from the jungler of Lannisters, and Tawan's gonna fall. Might have bought some time though, as the Dragon's gonna reset, and 5 members, we have to pan the camera up a bit as we can't really see anything. The fight going on. Soul Shackle's on the back line, and they find the hook for it still. The first member to fall is gonna be Spubby and Vayne now using the stopwatch. Risu still alive. Blade Caller needs to be used right now, but no time at all. They have to disengage. Lannisters don't want to stick around here, as Amelia joins in the fight to supplement the damage, and this should be Ocean Drag going the way of top 10 dinos.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not exactly sure how that fight started out, but the fact that they were able to collapse and manage to find the dragon really proved to be very crucial in, you know, staying on this game.
Oh, hold on here, Yurif might be in a bit of trouble as Rotate looks to make the fight happen in the top side. But like you said, you know, finding the opening, or at least the counter fights on the dragon was very crucial there. They could have lost their lead if they were a bit too overzealous, but they managed to turn the fight around. Risu did absolutely nothing in that fight, which is a big point of contention, right? If you manage to eliminate Xayah early, despite the bot lane advantage, it doesn't matter.
She did some damage, I think, before we actually panned up. I think Xayah did manage to find some damage before being forced out of the fight, even though she did stay alive relatively longer than if she was, you know, stuck in it.
Third round of buffs coming up, and we will see Spubby collecting the red one. Already items down on multiple members from both teams. You see the Loons echo down for Kirsty, Mew on the top side. This is extremely fair to Rise, who has gotten the Saros Embrace, or at least the Archangels, as well as the Oblivion Orb. So she's looking for the Morellonomicon next.
Yep. At the moment, though, you don't have any neutral objectives to take. And turret platings are all gone, so what you can begin to do right now is look towards, single out a lane and try to go in on it and try to siege down the turret.
Mid lane here, Spubby's just gonna make sure Amelia is safe as the wards will come down here in to protect and control the vision. The ping's down onto the Jarvan Tawan now. It's gonna get spotted out. They have to be careful about the positioning though. Spubby is very quick. She flashes forward. Wall slam in. But Tawan is going to counter flash out and the Black Shield keeps her alive. Snap decision making from Spubby. Extremely quick. Response was swift as well.
Yeah, we see this a lot from Spubby. She sees a stray enemy jungler. She's going to go in. I don't care who it is. She's just going to go in. She's going to pin you against the wall. And unless you force the flash, like the Jarvan did, there's nothing you can do.
And if you ask me, having flash on Jarvan is leagues more important than having flash on the Poppy because you need the flash to extend the Cataclysm range. Whereas Poppy should be fine just using the Keeper's Verdict to knock a single member out to get the man advantage. So there was a profitable play coming through from the top 10 dinos there, but there's still 1k go behind. Top lane, mid lane still holding majority of the advantages.
Yeah, we have to begin to look towards this bot lane, the Kai'Sa 2-0 and 0 now. Even though she is stacking that mana immune, not much damage, but this goalie that she has to begin to translate it across the map, and we haven't seen her do this a lot throughout the tournament, and I hope we begin to do so. Yeah,
Vortex has to step up in a big way as the tournament progresses, and like our observer was showing us right there, the goal difference in the top side is 1.6k. That is massive. When Rotate joins a fight, is going to be huge impact delivered on that rise.
And like we talked about in Champions, like this rise, this Rotate is going to be super crucial in how Lannisters play. And I like to see now that because Rotate is on 4, Lannisters are in turn then also very much on 4.
If I was a betting man, the odds would be leaning towards Lannisters at this point as Rotate looks to join the fight soon. But impact hasn't been felt, so I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Whereas for top 10 dinos, Amelia isn't exactly online just yet. She's still booting up. She's getting to that point, but she's not necessarily at the point where she can take over the game. So
no 1v2s today.
Yeah, no 1v2s just yet. I have high hopes for this Zoe.
Yeah, we did hype Zoe up a lot. It's going to be pretty embarrassing if she doesn't manage to do, something in this game. 0-1 and 2 right now, not the most impressive scoreline. Hopefully she does manage to...
Going in here, the Realm Warp being cancelled and Spubby coming in. The flash from Rotate was not enough as they lock her down and the shutdown coming through. Jurif with an absolutely devastating slicing Maelstrom to open that fight up.
Yep, Rotate getting a little too cocky. Stepping up in the lane one too many times. This time Poppy was paying attention, did manage to come up towards the top lane, shuts her down, managed to pick up that small bounty. More importantly, puts this rise behind, allows Cannon to find a way back into this lane.
At least they deny the timing on the rise, so if you think about matching timings in terms of items, the rise will come online around the same time the Kai'Sa does, right?
Yep.
You want to put the rise behind. You want to allow the Kai'Sa to come out ahead first, and that sort of negates the advantage in the top side. And so right now, as long as they keep pressuring out the rise, they should be fine.
Yeah, towards that point, you're doing pretty well. I mean, your Kai'Sa's 2-0 and 0, and you just killed the rise again. Again, the point we have to bring back to is whether or not Vortex is going to be able to impact this map like Rotate can.
Dragon is going to be of the Cloud variety this time. It's going to be started up here by Spubby and Vortex. Now, Kai'Sa takes objectives very quickly because of the passive, and it's getting eviscerated right now inside the pit. Down to 700, Smiter away, Spubby's going to claim it.
Yeah, 2 control wars, there's absolutely no contest in vision there. As well as the fact that Zoe did push up that mid lane pretty well, so no priority for Lannisters to even try to get into that river.
Yeah, 2 Ocean Drakes and a Cloud Drake, or as we like to call it, the Typhoon Drake combination, right?
You like to call it that, not me.
Extremely devastating in fights because of the additional movement speed as well as the regeneration. But wow, Rotate is starting to do damage in the top side.
Yeah, well, the only thing that Poppy seems to have done is to allow Rotate the fast way back to pick up some items, but she's back, and this time she has backup.
Oh man, it's gonna be a 3-man party in the top side. Vayne joining in, will back off. Now Rotate looking to make something happen on the map. Remember, Realm Warp is coming up in a couple of seconds.
Where did that turret fall? Oh, top side. Oh, feels bad for the
2 turrets.
2 turrets in a very short span of time, and
suddenly the goal swings ahead 1.8, and meanwhile in the mid lane, hold on here, have to flash away to one now. The next target to fall. Bobby's going to get the kill credit. Realm Warp in. It's going to be Rotate that arrives and dodges away from the Paddle Star. They almost got, or excuse me rather, they did get 2 members there as Kirsty fell as well.
Yep, collapsing in on the mid lane is the top 10 Dinos before Rotate can even join the fight. Manages to pick up 2 kills very quickly. And you have to think that they want to go for this mid lane tower to open up the map now.
Yeah, speaking of mid lane, Rotate is going to get caught out and slammed against the wall. Bubby is now 3, 2, and 3 in the jungle. She will make the plays happen. She will open up the map for top 10 Dinos and allow them to start sieging down this mid tier 1.
And that was a huge mistake coming up from Rotate. You saw all 3 members go towards your jungle. Why are you stepping up that far in your lane? You just opened up a huge opportunity for top 10 Dinos to kill you.
Bubby isn't too worried about getting caught by the Dark Binding here. The Sleepy Trouble Bubble is gonna land. Oh, and the damage from Amelia. Holy.
That was huge. I mean, that's... we keep seeing Amelia pull out this damage out from thin air. And honestly, I still don't know where it comes from.
She's connecting on these bubbles on all the unlikely angles and following up the Paddle Star to find the deletions. Man, starting to come online now. We said she was booting up, and now I think Amelia is definitely online.
Yep, that is a tilter, man. I mean, Patty definitely did not see that amount of damage coming, and right now you just have to be very fearful of how much further this Zoe's damage can actually ramp up.
What do you think is the tilting point right now? Like, at which point does top 10 Dinos feel comfortable about securing the win? Because they're in this, semi-commanding position. They lost a couple of turrets here and there, but they're finding the picks that they need.
Yep. I mean, 2k gold lead right now is by no means insurmountable. We have to see top 10 Dino continue to pressure this lead, and I think Bobby and Amelia, as long as they're on point with these plays, they can continue to do it. And once this Zoe gets online, if even better if we see Vortex step up, that is when you're comfortable enough to say, okay, this game is ours, let's take it away.
Right, so keep your eyes on the jungler as well as the mid laner for top 10 Dinos on the red side. This Zoe and Poppy are going to be crucial to the victory of top 10 Dinos.
Poppy used to be all over the map actually. First was bot side, now is around that top side, positioning around the Baron. Now, I don't think they're going to take it, but the fact that they are beginning to look at the vision there, which at the moment is very heavily Lannister favored, is a pretty good point for me.
But the danger is real though. It's ever present here in the map. You can see Vayne was looking for a hook. Amelia was looking for a Sleepy Trouble Bubble. They're always constantly reaching out for kill potential, potential kill plays here coming through. Oh, they find Patty in the jungle, and now Kirsty here is in a lot of trouble. You haven't used the Spirit Rush, but the Killer Instinct on the backline from Vortex is enough to find the kill. They have to disengage right now as Yurif is going to get caught out. Rotate taking the Realm Warp, but it's a bit of an awkward angle. Can't really find a kill here, but Teleport was used by Yurif. Was cancelled away from. This is Baron being started up, and this should be Baron taken here.
Feels bad for Rotate, right? I mean, if you're playing the 1-4 and your team really just collapses around you, there's not much exactly you can do. You just have to watch and continue to push up your lane and hope that your team does manage to find a favorable fight.
Red team claiming the Baron, and right now the Singaporean representatives looking very comfortable. I think this is the point we were talking about, the tilting point coming through here for top 10 Dinos.
Yeah, stepping up to the plate pretty well, filling in the shoes of Asterisk. Should not have too much issues right now since they do have the Baron. They should be able to continue pushing up these lanes, and one has to think they do have to slip up right now for Lannisters to try to capitalize on a mistake to find a way back into this game.
Might be a little too late as we are 24 minutes in. 4k is the goal lead here coming through for top 10 Dinos. A lot of the goal being stacked right now on the Kai'Sa. You can see 9k, or excuse me, rather 1400 in the pocket, needs to buy soon. That goal doesn't come for anything unless you get items with it.
Yep. Right now they are going for the dragon though. Another Ocean Drake right now, 3. That's gonna keep you topped up pretty well going into these late game fights. And Lannisters, they have to respect that.
Here's a pet peeve I have. When you have Baron buff, I hate it when people take dragons because that is an objective, or at least a timing window that you should be using to push and secure the lanes. You can use the Baron buff, finish it, and then go over to the Ocean Dragon. I don't see a point in wasting Baron buff on Ocean Dragon.
Alright, well, all that said and done, I think we are finally going to see a siege come in from top 10 Dino. And keep in mind right now, Rotate does have teleport, so we have to see whether or not she's going to be able to come in with some opportunistic flank or something or another to impact this.
She has to make a play. Rotate has to step up. Right now, both bot as well as mid tier 2s are going to fall. They're trading though. I don't think this is the best decision in the world right now. They lose 2 inner turrets for top side 1, and looking to make the play happen right now is top 10 Dinos. They land a Sleepy Trouble Bubble, forcing the cleanse out, in fact, from Kirsty. This is a bit of a fuse bad situation because now she's down one Summer Spell. Amelia's still looking for the poke on the side, still trying to land a paddle. Stars coming through.
Rotate is finally backing, but this is way too little too late, my friend. You don't even get the turret, and you lose an inhibitor right now.
Do they convert into the bot tier, bot inhibitor turret now is the question. You would think so, right? Because the wave is there, they can just move over and look to take the objective, and they will be looking to converge on this objective. A Sleepy Trouble Bubble landing. Oh, we shoot past. A good deal of damage coming through as well. We have to keep our eyes on this Zoe. She's just doing so much damage off the side. Left unchecked with her flanks.
Yeah, right now we are seeing both teams face off in a 5v5 at the bot side. You have to think that this turret shouldn't be too long for the world. 6-8 goal lead means Lannisters, they don't really have any ability to try and defend the structure. Oh my word.
The chunk of the Risu, and this should be a fight. Oh, but the charm back in is pretty good though. Spubby having to flash out. Tawan getting baited in, using the flash to get away from the dredge line as well. And this is a dev charge onto the back line. They find the rise first, and Rotate is in a world of hurt as Paddy will fall first, and the Keeper's Verdict knocking them away. Under the turret they fight as top 10 Dinos look to retreat now. Lannisters might just have the fight that they wanted, and the flash forward from Risu is enough. They managed to clear 4 members away, get the shutdown, a good deal of go onto the AD carry, and Lannisters, they're not out of this one just yet.
Yep, they do manage to hold the line as minions begin to stream into the mid lane. But what's crucial here is that the bot lane inhibitor stays alive. This gives them so much more space, so much more opportunity to look for more favorable fights like the one we just saw to find a way back into this game.
And you have to remember, top 10 Dinos are a hit, but that goal lead is not enough for you to ignore the turret completely and just stand underneath and siege like that. They took a bit of an over-eager fight, and top 10 Dinos pay for it with their lives. Right now they have to reset and look for another window of opportunity to go in. The gold is still 5k in favor of the Singaporean representatives, and Lannisters, team that qualified through the Thailand qualifiers, are still looking a bit worse for wear.
Yeah, a little unfortunate was that fight. I mean, if you're going under the turret, I think an AD carry like Kaisa at this stage in the game, she doesn't really want to commit to that, which does show right now 3-0 and 1. She wasn't really in that fight. She wasn't able to put down much damage. So hopefully right now, top 10 Dino will look for a better opportunity to go in. You don't want to throw this lead when you're this far ahead.
Like I say, you know, dot I cross the T's, slowly strangle them out. There is a window for them as Kaisa is getting to that point, like you mentioned. This is the 3-core item Kaisa threat that you want. You want to play to this point and say, you know what, you're ready to overtake the game. You can start to take the driver's seat a bit more. Green Suits, Nashers, as well as Manamune completed already for the AD carry.
Yep, Ari is at the top side. She doesn't have teleport. She is backing though. But what this means is the go button for this inhibitor.
Yeah, go button indeed is already clicked and it's pressed, and now they're going to claim the inhibitor for themselves. 2 inhibitors open, and the window to go for the third right now is even more evident as the map pressure is going to become insurmountable soon.
Yeah, you have to think, you just turn up the pressure a little bit, continue forcing these minions into the base, and it's just going to open up a window for top 10 Dino, take that Baron, and end the game.
Like I said, Baron up 40 seconds. There's a window here for top 10 Dinos to go for the big objective right now, the one that will win them the game. I say that like they're so far behind, like they're even. But it's going to be crucial that they do want that objective.
The fact of the matter is that if they do try to go for a fight and it turns out to be unfavorable, it can really swing the tides of this game. And we already saw one fight where they didn't come out ahead. Now you have to think that if they do try to go for another push, they want to dot their I's, cross their T's, and make sure everything goes right.
Look at the map. Lannister's pushing up in the mid lane very far ahead, and they have no safety around them. Remember, there's no vision whatsoever. It's all rip wards in the mid lane, and they have to back off. Despite trying to get lane priority in the mid lane, they still have to reset and back off because there's no vision in the jungle. They cannot tell if there's a flank coming.
Well, very smart from top 10 Dino. Instead of going for that full-fledged fight, actually just clearing out the minions, gaining priority over that mid lane, and now they're just melting through this Baron.
It's too little too late. There's no time and no time at all. Top 10 Dinos melt through the Baron, but Lannisters arriving late to the fight means that they don't want to pull the trigger. They'll just concede the objective and back off.
Yeah, at the moment, Very difficult from Lannister. I don't want to say insurmountable just yet, but it is going to be a hell of a fight if they do manage to get back into this game.
Dragon now being taken away. It's going to be a Cloud Drake. So 3 Oceans and 2 Clouds. Not the most combat-ready objective to take, but it still will allow top 10 Dinos right now to at least get the rest of the structures here.
Yep. Oh, okay, that's a lot of us. Okay, that was a wasted flash.
Hello? Having to flash and heal out. 2 summoner spells being used already, and our Lannisters are on the last stand. The turret is down to a quarter. I say that it's like 100 health left. They have to clear this range minion, but eventually it will take down the turret, and I don't know when Lannisters are going to fight now. I don't know how they're going to defend here.
You absolutely cannot fight. I mean, it's right now. Actually, you do take a look at top 10 Dino. They're backing, and crucially they did not do so after taking Baron. So what this means is they're just gonna have so much more damage going into this next fight, and you have to think the next fight should be the last one of this game.
Stopwatch being picked up by Vortex here in this heal as well, whereas the rest of the core items are being completed by members of top 10 Dinos. You're getting the nearly large rod. She needed more AP in the first place.
Well.
She's down behind, 80 CS, but it doesn't matter when she's running the Klepto and getting, the additional environmental goal from her team. And at the end of the day, Yurif is just utility. She's coming in to land the big slicing maelstrom, and then she dies. That's
she's
all.
Zhonya's.
Yeah, she's Zhonya's, and then she dies. That's all. Mid inhibitor has spawned, and this might just be where the Lannisters try to hold their ground.
Alright, final fight, here we go. Ding ding. Or not, okay. Just gonna take the inhibitor. Honestly, at this point, they're so far ahead, they should just go in for this fight. And this is a problem we consistently see from top 10 Dinos. When they're ahead, they don't know it and they don't go in.
Yeah, sometimes despite being far enough ahead, they don't like to pull the trigger. Instead, they're just waiting around looking for the picks with the Sleepy Trouble Bubbles as well as the Paddle Stars coming through. That's going to be crucial though. It lands onto the AD carry and they're just blocking the way of the Paddle Star. They don't want it to connect and chunk out Risu Thompson here in the base.
Outside minions though. These minions are just gonna take that turret if they don't go and defend it.
There's nothing they can do. They can't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
The base is being collapsed upon by the minions. The pressure is insurmountable. They have to make the last stand soon. As the inhibitor is getting focused down, you can see there's just so many minions knocking on the base right now. They will already lose the inhibitor and the Nexus turret as well.
Yeah, this is your classic Season 5 LCK, just choking out the enemy team, and even though right now the current meta isn't exactly the most optimal to attempt this, it's still doing top 10 Dinos pretty well.
Yeah, pull the trigger, going in the Cataclysm on the backline, but it's not the target you want as Tawan is going to fall. I say that, the stopwatch being used, but meanwhile, on the back, Kai'Sa is just running rampant with the stopwatch, buying space. She doesn't even need it anymore as the rest of the team collapses and they finish off this fight. They get the shutdown, they get the kill, and top 10 Dinos get their first win for today.
Yeah, hometown favorites coming in with a 7k goal lead, gonna finish out this game, and we said that we wanted to see Vortex step up, and I think in that final fight we really did. Jumping into the 2 members, clearing them both before dying for your team, now that's a good AD carry.
That is a good AD carry indeed, but all props to the team who worked on a whole. It seemed shaky at some points, but overall you could see the coordination was there. They knew their game plan, right?
Yep.
Chuck bubbles at them, we'll eventually catch someone and chunk them out, and then we get objective after that. So I have a sneaking suspicion Amelia Zoe isn't going to be available for the rest of this tournament.
Well, that's the question then. You take away the Zoe, what else do you put her on?
Yeah, with that, guys, we will see top 10 Dinos taking their first win for today. But remember, it is a round-robin system, so we have 4 teams in this group, and they will all be playing each other once, with the end result showing how they're going to be separated into the upper and lower brackets. But for now, guys, we will be going for a short break. Don't go anywhere as we come back. I believe top 10 Dinos will be geared for another match after this break.